Hello again, friends, once more. Joe here to look at some new Granblue characters because we now have the second part of Lagfest. Halloween characters are now gone, and we will have presumably 2 more permanent units. They didn't really tease anything during the Foxes event, so who knows what we're going to get. So let's just go and see what happens. Okay, Yuel and Societte dual unit. Surprised? Honestly, surprised it took that long for them to get one. I'm not a big fan of dual units, but anyway. And they're dark, so maybe they'll work well with Ko, who just got his his FLB. And then Alliah. That's not the wind Erun I was expecting. I'm surprised that a character from the event didn't get one, but okay. Let's take a look at their weapons, as we usually do. So these are massive dark damage to foe, buff the MC based on current HP, 50% or higher strength effect, below 50% dodge all. That's interesting. I don't think I've seen an Ogi effect like that before. And then, but the actual weapon itself is trash. And Alliah's a wind sword. 2 random buffs to MC on Ogi. Might and sentence, but also no FLB, so probably not going to be used. Okay, let's take a look, see what their kits are. So, like I said, they're dark. Ogi is massive dark damage to a full Fox Flame, 2 turned cut to Yuel and Societte's skill cooldowns. Oh, and we have some linked skills. So, skill 1, Ruby Dance, Karakurinai effect to caster. While in effect, attacks twice each turn. Cool. Ends upon taking damage 2 times. Okay, interesting. So that's basically a permanent double strike if you don't get hit. And it's linked with this one, Lazuli Dance Oborozuki effect. To caster, one effect, debuff immunity, mitigate damage taken. Ends upon taking damage 2 times. Okay. So more defense oriented versus more offense. I'm going to say you're probably going to want to use this one most of the time. Skill 3 is 2 hit dark damage to all foes, hit to attack and defense stackable. Interesting. So when you have this activated, you get boosted specs. And you have this one, it activates twice, which makes it 4 hits. Which that's I'm not sure I like that. Deal multi-attacks, yeah, there are dual units, so that's usually what they do. Boosted dodge rate against foes with Fox Flame, okay. Activate Twin Fox, this one. When foe uses a special attack, activate Twin Fox Dance at the end of turn and Yuel and Societte didn't take damage. Okay. So, as I'm recording this, the banner only started half an hour ago, so I'm going to just automatically assume that the wiki is not updated. It's not, so I'm not going to have numbers for this. But, I would really have preferred for these to be swapped about, like, because I think generally just these 2 in a vacuum, you're probably going to want to use this one most of the time just because you're going to have permanent double strike. And then if you had having this activate twice to make it 4 hits and more stackable debuffs would be nice, because it would make more sense to do that way, because that's more damage oriented to go along with this, which is the damage oriented of this. But against the flip side of that is that if you're using the more defense oriented one here, then you're still going to get some damage from this activating twice, and it also activates as when you don't take damage. which, if you're using Ferio, her S1 is a pretty decent shield. It's like 10k, so for everything but like super hard fights, that's probably going to protect you for quite a while at least to get auto activations. I don't remember what I mentioned earlier. They might work well with Ko. I don't remember what his kit actually really does, but I know he has. I'm pretty sure he has Fox Flame stuff. Let me quickly check. Yes, he does, but he can only do it on his S2, which requires filling a charge diamond. So, if you were using these two together, that means he'll be able to keep Fox Flame up much more consistently because they will do it on Ogi, which means that Ko will get his CA damage and cap against foes with Fox Flame passive up more often. I'm gonna say they're fine. They're perfectly fine for a permanent character. Probably not going to use them as the third part of the Ferio and Lich setup. I think if you had Ferio and you don't have Lich, you could maybe use them alongside Ko, maybe. I think Ko is mostly a sustain character, I think, if I mind right. Yeah, he's like lots of substitute stuff, and drain and auto activate healing and stuff. Yeah, so if you needed that, like, he wouldn't be terrible. But I mean, for skill damage stuff, which is where a lot of Dark's damage comes from, if you're using like Agonize and whatnot, like, you're gonna want to use this to get the double activation every time it goes off. I don't know, I feel like on paper, like, the theoretically permanent double strike is super strong, but obviously to make the best use of that, you're gonna want stuff like echoes and whatnot. I don't know. I think they're potentially really good. I just don't think Dark really can have the proper setups to like take advantage of them, because obviously Ferio and Lich are so good that basically you always want to use them if you have them, which makes Dark's like party setups really like rigid. You don't have much room, and that third slot you would rather use for someone like Six or, you know, Summer Magisa if you had her, because she's going to give you a lot more skill damage. Whereas Yuel Societte here don't really have much in the way of. They do give some damage, but they're not going to be. They don't give enough like utility or whatever to the rest of the team to warrant using them over someone who will just deal straight up more damage, like Six. So yeah, they're fine. They're not bad, but I think it's the problem that basically every new Dark unit has, in that if they don't kind of meet that baseline to work alongside Ferio and Lich, then they're just not worth using, which is a shame. I think Dark is actually kind of in a really shitty spot right now, just because of how locked in that team setup is. That, I mean, there's nothing stopping you from not using them and you know, experimenting with other team setups, but if you want to be optimal, like, you basically have to use Ferio and Lich. And then, you know, like I said, Six or Magisa for skill damage, stuff like that. Anyway, moving on to Alliah, aka Golden Knight, or I guess former Golden Knight. I don't remember if she officially. I don't think she did, actually. I think she's still acting as the Golden Knight, but officially she doesn't have a title anymore. It's been a while since I've read the main story quest. But anyway, so yeah, she's wind. Her Ogi's massive wind damage to 4, remove one buff, dispel. Simple. 3 random buffs to caster, okay. So crit, armored, triple attacks, damage cap, drain, double strike, assassin. Excuse me. Oh no, that's Ogi assassin? That's gonna have to be really good to cap. That's normally the regular assassin icon, but that says charge attack, so I don't know if that's a mistake or what, but anyway. Skill 2, wind damage to all foes, extend caster's buff duration by 3 turns, excludes 1 turn buffs. So far similar to her, I was going to say similar to her grand unit, is basically identical to her grand unit. Her skill 1 is different, but this is basically, these two are pretty similar. Or wait, is this or is this her S1 on her Earth Grand? I don't remember. 2 of these skills are basically identical to her Grand version. Based on Alliah's number of buffs, boosted CA damage cap, and charge bar gain, I think that's pretty much the same as well. Buffs can't be removed. That's, yep, 1 run buff to Alliah upon being targeted by MC's buff skills. I'm not sure what to make of her, to be honest. Like her Grand version is fine. It's not bad. But a lot of its worth just comes from basically the meme team, where you use her alongside Eugen, and I don't think I need anyone else really. Where she just gives herself auto ignition almost permanently. It's not 100% permanent. It ends up, I think, but it lasts like, I'm gonna say like at least 10 turns or something with that setup, which is funny because you just get her to Ogi, literally get double Ogi every time. So yeah, that's the main thing I think she's missing from her Grand version. If I remember right, a Grand version where she had a certain number of debuffs, it gave her Ogi reactivation. Whereas this one just seems to be missing that. Instead, she just gets some Ogi buffs here. But honestly, like, and this is only a single hit, which in wind you want multi hits. I'm trying to think, is there any, maybe if this I'm actually going to check if Grand Naru's S1 is replicable. I think the wiki should have. Okay, so it is. Grand Naru's S1 is you can replicate it, but obviously she doesn't have guaranteed triples like Naru does, or her Seraphic passive. So obviously, if you use her alongside Grand Naru, she's not going to be hitting anywhere near as hard. Just because Grand Naru has a bunch of other cracked stuff in her kit that allows her to hit for a lot of damage alongside her S1. So, but again, like I'm not amazingly super knowledgeable about this game. I'm not a theory crafter, so maybe this does allow some silly setup similar to her Earth version as well. But honestly, she's a slightly worse version of her Grand in a different element, and her Grand version, like I said, is already not super used these days, apart from just having fun alongside Grand Eugen, just to have her double Ogi every turn for the entire fight. But I mean, she's pretty. I wonder if you. So her other version just names her Golden Knight. I wonder if that would count for skin purposes, if you could use her as a skin on Golden Knight. I'm gonna take a quick look at her Grand version, just to see what we are missing compared to this one. So in her Grand version, her debuff is on this skill basically. Also, her grand version only extends her buffs by one turn. So this is by 3. That would actually give like really high uptime to these buffs. And then on this one, on her grand version, she gets a buff based on the type of skill that you replicate, whereas here she just gets some charge bar. And then on her grand version, instead of this, she has a delay, which gives her charge bar. And yeah, this is the same, except she's missing the Ogi reactivation, and she doesn't have the charge bar gain bit of it on her grand version. Like I said, like Golden Knight is not like super strong. She's not like super highly rated. Like what is her rating on the tier list? Not that that really means anything, but she's not super high. 9.6 is what Game With gives her, which is fine. Like I said, she doesn't see much use, so I'm not sure that a slightly different wind version of her is going to see much use either. Like I said, there's maybe some setup with her that I'm not thinking of that could make some good use of this. Like I said, the first thing that came to mind was Granblue. Her S1 is copyable, but like I said, she doesn't have like the other steroids in her kit to really make strong use of that. So yeah. She doesn't seem super bad. She doesn't seem bad. Like you could definitely find some interesting use for her just because of, you know, random buffs and being able to copy stuff. But yeah, I don't. You know, and Dispel is nice for Guild Wars especially. She seems fine. I don't think she's bad, but I don't think unless, like I said, unless there's some specific setup that she's really strong in, I don't think you'd really use her if you've got all the other strong wind characters. But anyway, that's that. I kind of expected the Yuel Societte. Well, not exactly, but I was expecting at least one of them to get like an alt or something, because they're popular characters. And I'm surprised it took them this long to get a dual unit. It's a shame that Sui from the event didn't get a unit, but it took Yuel quite a while to get her SSR. Like 2 years, I think, before she got her light SSR is pretty recent, so it would have been nice if she got one, but probably get one in the future. Like if this reruns at some point, or there's a next part somewhere down the line, we might see her. But anyway, thanks for watching, and until next time, goodbye. Do all the YouTube stuff, like and subscribe. See you later.